Public Works and Highways. It's a big challenge, alam ko. Nakita ko parang dati payat ka na, lalo ka pang pumayat eh. No? At ngayon dati mukha kang 50 years old, ngayon mukha ka ng 80 years old. No? Buti makapal pa yung buhok nyo, Secretary. But we're here to listen to your budget presentation. Of course, the reforms that you are undertaking. Nasabi ko sa mga kasamahan namin dito na 2020, we will not allow the same mistake and the same corruption to happen in 2026. No? And that is our strict rule and mandate come 2026. So we would like to hear from the department the reforms, especially on the budget for 2026. Ano ba yung ginawa natin para hindi na maulit to? And ano pa yung mga reforma na ginawa nyo sa loob ng DPWH para hindi na rin maulit to sa bagong taon. So with that, before I recognize Secretary Dizon, let me acknowledge the presence of Senator J.B. Ejercito. So with that, we will pursue the budget presentation of DPWH, and then after that, we will open the floor for questions. So we recognize Secretary Dizon for his budget presentation.
Magandang umaga po. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman, Senator Win, Senator JV, at sa buong team po ng Committee on Finance ng Senate. Again, every time I'm in the Senate po, I feel good because it's like I'm back home, no? Because I spent probably half of my government career in the Senate, no? Since 1995. Since 1995, nandito na po ako. Old Senate pa po nun. And whenever I'm here, I always remember po na the Senate is really the bastion of reform. No, lahat po ng maraming mga reformang nagawa sa ating bansa nitong nakaraang mga dekada, marami po dyan ay nag-originate sa Senado. Kagaya po ninyo, that is our wish. That is the President's wish. No? Nung bago po ako pumasok ng DPWH, simple lang po ang sinabi ng Presidente. Sabi po niya, linisin natin ang DPWH from top to bottom at panagutin natin yung mga dapat managot at reformahin na natin para hindi na po maulit-ulit itong mga napakasamang mga nangyari na nakita natin these past few months. So with that, Mr. Chairman, we are here to give a very brief presentation on the 2026 DPWH budget. Hindi na ho ako masyadong magdidetalye kasi alam ko naman po no, na lahat ng detalye ay nasa inyo na. Pero gusto ko pong mag-focus dun sa mga highlights nung ating ginawa. As you very well know, Mr. Chairman, ako po'y pumasok sa DPWH nung September at nung panahon na yon naisumiti na po budget sa Kongreso. No, ito po ay nagsimula ang paggawa at pagbalangkas nitong budget na to simula nung I think earlier this year, as early as March, nung nag-budget call po ang ating Pangulo at ito po ay sinumiti sa Kongreso sometime in August when I was actually still with the Department of Transportation at ako nga po ay nalulungkot at akala ko po ngayong budget na to ay si Senator JV ay aking makakasama nung ako ay nasa DOTR pa at handa na po sana kami doon. Pero iba po ang landas na dinala sa akin at nandito po ako sa sitwasyon na ididepensa ang DPWH budget. Having not actually been a part of the preparation of this budget. But of course, kailangan po natin gawin ang ating obligasyon at gusto ko lang pong sabihin na next slide please. Opo, no? Ang original pong sinubmit sa NEP ay 881 billion. No? Pero as you now know, nag-utos po ang ating mahal na Pangulo na tanggalin lahat ng locally funded flood control for 2026. At ang kadahilanan po noon ay habang hindi pa natin na ilalagay yung mga kailangang reforma na magsisigurado na hindi na mauulit yung nakita niya mismo at na siya mismo nung kanyang SONA ay isiniwalat niya ito at mong mga nakaraang buwan. Sabi niya, tanggalin muna. And this is better used for other services that our people desperately need. Kaya naglabas po siya ng pronouncement at naglabas po siya nung kanyang rekomendasyon na sana itong 252 billion na ito or 250 plus billion na ito ay ilagay sa healthcare, sa PhilHealth, sa Department of Agriculture, sa education, at iba pang mga serbisyo na kinakailangan ng ating mga kababayan. At para masigurado na hindi ito magagamit sa maling intensyon. So, yun po, no? So, nabawasan po ang net value ng DPWH. Ito po ay naging 625 billion. At ito na rin po ang naging total na rin sa House General Appropriations Bill na isinamit na rin po sa Senado kamakailan. At ang more or less po ito ay halos 30% po ang budget na bumaba sa DPWH for 2026. At ito po ay ang pinakamababang budget ng DPWH simula since 2020 sa aming pong pagkakaalam. No? At I think first time pong bumaba ang DPWH budget sa siguro na alaga nating panahon. Lagi po itong madalas na tumataas pero ngayon lang po bumaba ang budget ng DPWH. Ayon na rin sa direktiba ng ating Pangulo. Next slide, please. At ito po ang makikita din po natin. No? So from 2023, 24, 25, 26, yan po pinakamababa. At kung babalikan pa po natin ang 2022, 2021, mas mababa din po siya doon. At I think mataas lang siya dun sa budget noong 2020. Next slide, please. Ito lang po ay ang breakdown ng budget, no? By expense class, no? PS, MOE at capital outlay. Siyempre po, ang bulk ng budget lagi ng DPWH ay nasa capital outlay. So, yan po, no, ang makikita natin ngayon sa budget na ito. Next slide, please. Ito po ang breakdown ng capital outlays. No, makikita nyo po yung green yan ng flood control. Madami po yan nung nakaraang mga taon. Pero makikita nyo po, ang natira na lang po sa flood control ay yung mga foreign assisted projects na pinautang sa atin ng ating mga lenders tulad ng JICA, tulad po ng World Bank at iba pang mga multilateral agencies. Yan po ay roughly 15.8 billion pesos. Yan na lang po ang natira dito sa budget ngayon ng DPWH. Next slide, please. At ulitin ko po, no, as a direct result, tinanggal po ang all locally funded projects ang tinanggal po, na flood control ay tinanggal po. No? Dito sa budget na nasa Committee on Finance po ngayon. Next slide, please. Okay. Aparte po dun sa pagtanggal ng budget ng locally funded flood control, meron po tayong 4 na iba pang ginawa. I just want to emphasize this. No, this is quite important that nung nag-submit po tayo at nag-hearing po tayo sa House of Representatives, binigyan po tayo ng 1 linggo ng House of Representatives para po reviewin, repasuhin ang budget ng DPWH. Alam niyo naman po, no, and thank you po, Senator Lauren, who is also a former Committee on Finance Chair for a long time. Alam po ninyo, Mr. Chairman, Senator Lauren, Senator JV, na ang DPWH budget po ay isa siguro sa pinakamahaba, pinakamalawak, at pinakakomplikadong budget, no? Just on sheer volume of line item projects. No? So we were given 1 week to review, repaso, etc. No, based on the directives of the President and also based on the calls of both members of the House of Representatives and also based on the calls of the members of the Senate. No, at meron po kaming 4 sa limited time po na yon na rinipaso po namin at review. Meron po kaming 4 na ginawa in addition to removing all flood control, locally funded flood control projects. Yung po ay una, tinanggal po natin ang mga duplicate projects kasi like po si Senator Ping Lacson, meron po siyang nakita, and I think pati po si Senator Win at si Senator JV na release po yan sa media. So we tried our best to remove duplicate projects. Ito yung mga parang pareho, double counting, no? So we tried our best with the help of the Department of Budget and Management to remove these duplicate projects, no? At sasabihin ko na rin po ngayon, no? Kung meron pa po kayong makikita na ganyan, na duplicate project, please by all means po tanggalin nyo yung mga project na yan. No, we will fully support po as the institution in our democracy that holds the power of the purse. No, yan po ay trabaho at role ng ating Kongreso. Ito din po ang sinabi namin sa House nung time na yon. Pero kung meron din pong makitang duplicate ang Senado, please po, tanggalin niyo po yan at hindi po dapat nandyan yan sa budget na yan. We also tried our best to remove yung pong release po ata ito ni, I'm not sure if it was Senator Win or Senator Ping. Yung mga nakalagay na completed pero meron pa rin pondo. Hindi po tama yan. Hindi po pwedeng mangyari yan. No? So again po, we tried our best with the help of the DBM to identify these projects, and we have also tried our best to remove them. And we also removed overlapping sections. Ito pong mga sinasabi na minsan tinatawag nilang facing o yung mga iba-ibang mga paraan para ipakita na merong iba't ibang project pero actually isang project lang pala yun, no? So we tried our best also to do that, no, to remove overlapping sections and overlapping phases, no, sa mga proyekto. Pero again po, kung meron po kayong makikita pang ganyan, please feel free po na tanggalin po yung mga proyektong yan. And also, ito po, yung I think si Senator JV po ito, no, kung maaalala ko, yung rack netting, cat's eye at studs. At consistent din po ito sa mga sinabi kamakailan ni Senator ng ating chairman, si Senator Gatchalian, yung mga overpricing. No, kasi marami pong mga report na umabot sa amin na overpriced daw yung rack netting, overpriced yung cat's eye, overpriced yung mga studs at iba ba. Lahat po ito tinanggal na rin po namin sa budget na ito. Pero it is not a perfect budget. No, I will be the first one to say na hindi pa yan perpekto. Kaya importante pa rin po ang intervention po ng ating Kongreso at ang ating Senado para as much as possible po malinis po talaga natin itong budget na ito. We have tried our best. We were given a very, very limited time, only 1 week to do this. Pero meron din pong syempre pang kung may makikita po ang Senado, please po feel free to do that as well. Finally po, we also tried our best to rationalize. Dahil po ang malaking laging nagiging problema, hindi lamang sa DPWH, pero sa ibang mga ahensya, yung tinatawag na budget efficiency. No, yung paggamit po ng maayos ng budget. No, so we tried our best po na magkaroon po ng tamang rationalization ng mga proyekto. At yun pong mga proyekto na talagang mai-implement ng tama, honestly, and efficiently, yun ang ating ilalagay to as best as we can through our various units. Alam niyo naman po, no? Mahigit 20 mil po ang line item projects ng DPWH. Pero we tried our best na yung pong mga talagang mai-implement ng tama, honestly, and properly at mabilis, yun po ang ginagay natin dito. At yung pong iba ay binawasan natin. Kaya mapapansin nyo po, meron pong bawas na 30 billion sa foreign assisted projects. Ang dahilan din po nun dahil yung absorptive capacity po ng ating units implementing foreign assisted projects, tinanong din po natin sa kanila. Dahil nga po, meron pa pong dagdag na pondo for 2025 na late na marirelease, ngayon lang pong 4th quarter marirelease, ibig sabihin po nun, yung implementation din po nung amount na yon, I think aabot po ng, magkano? Yung, if you will just give me, I want to give at least a rough estimate, Mr. Chairman, sa FAPs. I was told by Undersecretary Sidain na roughly po, including the foreign component and the GOP component, roughly about 60 billion, 64 billion, ay kakatanggap lang po ata ngayong fourth quarter. No? At ibig sabihin po niyan, bago po ma-implement yan, aabot na rin po tayo ng 2026. Kaya po, para po hindi din mapilaukan, sabi po ng ating Foreign Assisted Projects team, pwede pong mabawasan yung foreign assisted projects din ng, I think, 30 billion. That's why we will notice a reduction in the foreign assisted projects from 100 billion to 70 billion. So yun po, no? Yun po ang mga ginawa natin. And I will just quickly go through the other details. Next slide, please. Ito naman po ay ang breakdown ng capital outlays, no, natin. Both FAPs at foreign assisted projects at locally funded projects at yung mga non-infrastructure, no? Ito po yung mga ito po yung mga MOOE, no? MOOE na part nung pag-implement ng mga malalaking projects po ng DPWH, no? Next slide, please. Again po, ito yung capital outlays, breakdowns, and support to operations, no? Yan po yung, again, yung mga MOOE, yung mga project personnel po natin, yung mga feasibility studies, yung mga design studies natin, no? Nandyan din po yan. Right of way, kasama din po dyan. Next slide, please. At ito po, no, yung sa infrastructure flagship projects natin, lalo na po yung dalawang napaka-importanting project, yung Daang Maharlika at yung ating nautical highway, no, sa Visayas region at sa Mindanao. Importante po ito dahil nakakalungkot po, Mr. Chairman, Honorable Senators, na talaga pong napag-iwanan ito. No, a lot of the sections of the Daang Maharlika and the nautical highway natin, lalo na sa Mindanao at sa Visayas, talaga pong sira-sira na. At kailangan po talagang pondohan ito at kailangan po talagang gawin na as soon as possible. At dahil ito din po ang kabilin-bilinan ng Pangulo. So we just wanted to highlight that and seek your assistance there as well. And this straddles multiple provinces, multiple regions, multiple districts, multiple LGUs. Next slide, please. At ito naman po ulit yung IFPs natin. This is very close to my heart, Mr. Chairman, dahil alam niyo naman po, nung nakaraang administrasyon, ako po ay naging presidential advisor on flagship projects. Kaya familiar po ako sa mga projects na ito at kailangan po talaga natin itong i-implement dahil ito po talaga ito po advocacy po ito ni Senator JV. No, paulit-ulit po niyang sinasabi yan na kailangan yung mga big ticket projects natin talaga magbibigay ng ginawa sa ating mga kababayan ang talagang dapat unahin. Next slide, please. At ito naman po is just a breakdown of some of the completed projects na talagang ano naman po, and most of them are foreign assisted projects like the Pangil Bay Bridge, the Pasig Marikina. I think this is one of the flood control projects that we can all be proud of. No, this is foreign funded and tapos na po ito yung phase 5 pero meron pa pong mga future phases ito. Yung pong arterial bypass road, yung Plaridel bypass road na sinasabi sa Central Luzon, yung pong integrated disaster risk and reduction adaptation measures sa iba't ibang areas, in this case sa Pampang Bay, yung pong Samar Pacific Coastal Road, at yun din pong mapakaayos na flagship project natin na flood mitigation and risk management project in the Cagayan de Oro River. No, lahat ito ay magagandang ehemplo ng mga maayos na proyekto. Nung pong nakaraang linggo lang po, mamarapati nyo lang po ako, kasama ko ang ating Pangulo, meron po kaming binisita na dalawang napakaganda at napakaayos na project sa Cagayan Valley. No, yung pong Claveria Flood Control at Irrigation Project na napakaganda po at napakaganda po ng pagkagawa. Finished on budget, on time, and it really is doing wonders in mitigating flood in the Cagayan Valley, which especially is very much needed by our farmers, by both our rice farmers and our corn farmers in Cagayan Valley, which is one of our biggest rice and corn producers in the country. At yun din pong Kalamanyugan Bridge na malapit na pong matapos. Yan po, may dagdag po kaming funding na hihingi dyan, roughly about 200 million pesos na lang para matapos na po at ma-inaugurate na po ito very soon para po magamit na ng ating mga kababayan sa Cagayan Valley papuntang ibang parte ng Region 1. So with that po, I think that ends the presentation. Mr. Chairman, I'm sure there will be more questions from the committee. But before I end po, let me just give you also a rundown of the various reform measures that we are currently doing now. Alam niyo naman po, mahigit isang buwan pa lang po tayong nakaupo kasama at yung pong iba nating bagong team, linggo pa lang po ang binibilang nila dito. But I think if I may just mention a few of the major reforms that we are currently undertaking. Let me start with the reforms on ensuring accountability. Now, that is, I think, the first step. We need to make sure, according to the President, paulit-ulit po niyang sinasabi, wala po tayong sisinuhin, wala po tayong sasantuhin, top to bottom po ang ating magiging cleansing. And we are doing that right now. Obviously, the first reform are the filing of cases. That is unprecedented, Mr. Chairman. No, and I think you will see in the next few weeks and months of the sheer volume of cases that are going to be filed against people who are responsible within the department, who are responsible for this really unprecedented anomalies that have been done in the past years. And we are doing this closely with the Independent Commission for Infrastructure and the Office of the Ombudsman and the DOJ. So yan po, meron na po tayong unang case na final sa Ombudsman, isang buwan na ang nakalipas. Ito po ay pinangako na po ni Ombudsman Boying Remulla, ang ating bagong Ombudsman, na bibilisan na po ito na ma-file sa Sandigan Bayan. Ito po yung kaso sa First District of Bulacan. May mga susunod pong kaso na ifa-file na rin ngayong linggong ito involving other projects. Pangalawa po doon yung final ng ICI sa Ombudsman, yung pong kaso sa Oriental Mindoro involving several DPWH personnel and involving contractors such as SunWest Corporation as well as the other companies of the Diskaya family. Meron din pong mga iba pang ifa-file sa mga susunod na araw ngayong linggo. Ayoko na lang pong pangunahan ng ICI doon, but you will expect those cases to be filed already in the coming days. Apart from filing of cases, we have also instituted a sweeping review of officials within DPWH from top to bottom. We have already issued several show cause orders whenever I think a total of Yusek Rico, more than 20 show cause orders already for various DPWH personnel across the country. No, iba't iba pong, this is not limited to Bulacan or Luzon. Marami na po tayong in-issue at yan po ay umaandar na ang proseso. Alam niyo naman po, lalo na para sa ating mga opisyales na under civil service, meron po tayong proseso dyan at kailangan po nating sundin ang prosesong yan. At the same time, we are right now in the process of instituting reforms sa ating human resources. No, we will now start with a review of policies to ensure that DPWH becomes truly a meritocracy. No, at hindi lang ma-appoint dahil kilala si ganito, kilala si ganyan, recommended ni ganito, recommended ni ganyan. Kailangan po dadaan po sa masusing pag-review ang mga applications. Today, we opened up applications to 2,000 vacant positions in DPWH. And lahat po, pati po mga job order, pwedeng mag-apply dito. At magpalabas po kami ng guidelines sa tulong na rin po ng dating mga secretaries of the department, si Secretaries Babe Singson at Ping De Jesus. Tinutulungan po nila kami ngayon para magbuo at magbalangkas ng bagong rules on meritocracy. So yan po ang ginagawa po namin ngayon. Ikalawa po, meron po tayong kinakailangan gawin sa planning at budgetary reform. At si Undersecretary, bagong talagang Undersecretary Nick Conti, na pumalit po kay former Undersecretary Cabral, yan po ang kanyang trabaho ngayon. Paano natin masisigurado na ang planning at budgetary process ay maayos, transparent, at i-reflect po talaga ang pangangailangan ng ating mga distrito, ng ating mga probinsya, ng ating mga rehiyon. No, we are completely scrapping the formulas that were initially explained to both the Committees on Finance and the Blue Ribbon Committee on allocable and non-allocable. We are scrapping all of that, and we will simplify the formulas and the process by which projects get to the National Expenditure Program. Yan po ay riripasuhin natin completely para sa darating na budget sa 2027. So yan po ay ongoing, hindi po ito madali, hindi po ito mabilis kasi marami pong kailangang ayusin dito, but we are very well, we will really welcome po any suggestions that may come from the honorable members of the Committee on Appropriations and the Philippine Senate. Ikatlo po, kailangan po din natin ireforma ang procurement process ng DPWH. No? Kailangan pong ireforma ang procurement dahil dito po nakita natin ang maraming mga pagkukulang at loophole. At Mr. Chairman, if you would allow me to take this opportunity to thank Senator Bam Aquino, because in the Blue Ribbon hearing that I attended personally, siya po ay nagbigay ng napakagandang suggestion na mag-file ng mga kaso laban sa mga kontratista na naging involved sa bid rigging sa Philippine Competition Commission. At yun po ay napakagandang development at ginawa po namin yun agad-agad. We have filed 12 cases with the PCC already, and Mr. Chairman, Senator Bam, we will be filing more. We will be filing more. And ano po yun, it sends a strong message that we will not tolerate bid rigging. Kasi po mabigat po ang parusa na yon. 110 million for first offense at 250 million, up to 250 million for future offenses. So mabigat po yon at hindi po namin tatantanan yan, Mr. Chairman, Senator Bam. But apart from that, we will also institute reforms that will bring about transparency and really I don't think we need to make new laws or new regulations. I think especially now with the passage of RA 12009, the amended Government Procurement Act, everything is already there. We just need to make sure that all these laws, regulations are followed strictly. So we will be doing that as well. Yan po ay kasama po si Undersecretary Conti at yung ating procurement service. At kailangan din po natin ikaapat ng reforma sa implementation and monitoring of projects. No, meron tayong, nandito po si Undersecretary Ador Canlas at si Undersecretary Arthur Bisnar. Sila po ang ating dalawang Undersecretaries for Operations. Sila po ngayon ay talagang masusi ng nag-aaral kung paano natin may ensure na may implement ng tama ang mga project at more importantly, mamomonitor ng tama ang mga proyektong to para wala na pong magiging ghost project sa DPWH from now on. Lastly po, we also need to monitor yung pong pagbabayad. Kasama din po, no? Kasi marami po tayong nakita dito. Mga project na sinabing kompleto na, pero either wala at all yung proyektong yon or hindi pa kompleto, pero fully paid na. Halimbawa po, no, pasensya na po kayo at this was a of a public outburst on my end, pero talaga pong Sino ba naman po ang hindi magagalit kapag meron pong district engineer na nagsabi sa inyo na kung siya ay nagpagawa ng bahay, hindi niya babayaran ng kontratista hanggat hindi natatapos ang bahay niya. Pero yung project na hindi pa tapos, sinabi niya, inamin niya na okay lang magbayad kasi nangako naman daw po ang kontraktor na tatapusin niya. Yun po ang sinabi sa akin. No, live television pa po noon. No, sino ba naman po ang hindi magagalit sa ganong klaseng pag-iisip? No, so kailangan din pong reformahin yun. No, at to make sure that we have checks and balances, especially in the final payments of projects and also in the progress billings of projects, to make sure that the responsibilities of the contractors are met before payments are made. So with that po, yun po yung 5 mga reformang ginagawa natin ngayon. We would be more than willing po to present to you once we have some very clear directions already on those reforms. But my request only po is we will also be given some time kasi hindi po biro ito. Sorry po, last na lang. Yung pinaka-importante na reformang ginagawa namin ngayon, tinawag na rin po ito ni Senator Win Gatchalian, tinawag din po ito ni Congressman Rian Reviste na kailangan ibaba natin ang cost of materials ng DPWH. Kasi marami po dito mataas sa totoong cost of materials all over the country. We are also doing that now. We are reviewing the CMPD and also the DUPA, which is based on the CMPD. No, the cost of materials. Kailangan po nating reviewin to. In fact, ito po ay ginagawa ngayon natin ongoing at malapit na po tayong ilabas ito sa mga susunod na linggo. So with that po, maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the Committee on Finance, and we will be ready and willing to answer any questions